Heb hangs, it's time for heb hangs. Heb hangs, it's time for heb hangs. This feels, I don't know, I'm a little bit nervous. I haven't been here in so long. I think the last heb hangs video I posted was 8 months ago. 8 months. I want to say a lot has changed in that 8 months. I don't know, it probably has. Rocky's here with me today. He's not normally here, which is nice. Well, it's nice that he's here. It's not nice that he's not normally here. So yeah. Okay, I guess I'll just like kind of reintroduce what this is and explain what this is for any newcomers, I suppose. So Heb Hangs, I'm Heb. And this is, I wanted to start posting some long form YouTube content, but I don't like editing long form stuff. I like to be done editing quickly. I enjoy editing, but I just was not about to take on a project of like, I don't know. I'm not trying to do like an 8-hour project every week. But since I don't edit, you're going to get like 10 seconds of me drinking water. That is called shoe leathering. I think I've explained this before in an old episode, but I'll tell you what shoe leathering is if you don't know. So shoe leathering is a film term, right? For us cultured film people. I say that I've never been in a movie. Actually, I've been in a short. Let me shut the fuck up. I've done a couple things, but I haven't been in movies, but I'm just joking. Anyway, so shoe leathering is when you are watching something for the like realistic duration that it takes. So like if you're watching a movie and someone starts crossing the really long room, you might just cut to them getting to the other side. But shoe leathering is you watch them cross the whole room. So if you're watching someone sleep, you're sitting there watching them for 8 hours. That's shoe leathering. So anyway, that's basically what this podcast is we're shoe leathering, baby. So, yeah, maybe I'll just tell you what's been going on in the last 8 months. So what is it? It's the beginning of October. 8 months ago would have been, what's October plus 4? February? Yeah. Well, I got a part-time job at this, so I was working at an outdoor company before. It was like mostly camping and, it was mostly camping and like going out on trips for days with schools and stuff. And it was cool, but it paid like shit. It was a flat rate of $150 a day, a flat rate. And that's not before taxes, or that's before taxes. So taxes are taken out of that. It comes out to like $130 a day or $120 or something like that. And it never changed no matter what you did. So, and they, on the handbook, they were like, never ask for a raise. We're always watching and we'll just give you one. I'm like, bitch, no, because there was someone there. It was like a family business. There was a guy there who's been working there, I don't know, for like 7 fucking years. He's like 23. He's been working there since he was a kid. And he got paid the same as all of us. And his knowledge was like through the roof. I was a good counselor. I was great, but I couldn't tell you about the rocks and shit. I couldn't explain different types of plants. He could, which is the whole point. They were like, as soon as you have this knowledge and you can like teach them about nature more, then you're going to get a pay bump. And they never bumped this guy up. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, I'm never getting a raise. But a lot of the time the days would go from, breakfast is at 8. And then the whole day is just jam packed with activities. And also in the morning, we would normally have a morning hike. Unless it was the very last day, we would have some morning hike, morning activity, and they would ask for volunteers. And I would almost always volunteer because like, that just sounds like a great way to start my day. So then I would be getting up an hour earlier than everyone else. You go on the morning hike at 7 a.m. And, it could be like an actual hike. And sometimes you're taking like 80 kids on a hike in the morning, you and like one other person. And then activities all day, rock climbing, you're belaying. They trained me how to belay for 5 fucking minutes. 5. I had never belayed in my life. If you don't know what belaying is, it's, the person at the bottom of the rock wall with the rope and they're making sure you don't fall to your death. They trained me for 5 fucking minutes. And then I belayed kids for like, it was 2 to 3 hours on this 30+ foot rock wall in like 90-degree heat. I had never done it before. I mean, I was not gonna fucking let anything happen to them, of course. Like, I was so locked in and I was good at it. But like, how crazy is that? And then also, if you're belaying, or if you get belay certified, you still don't get paid extra or anything, but you're belaying and then you're running team building games. And then you're like helping them plan a skit for the campfire. And then at the campfire, you're leading like songs and games. And then you're helping them make s'mores. You're making like 150 s'mores for all these kids. You know, they roast the marshmallow, but you have to lay out all the graham crackers and all the chicken, all the chocolate. Anyway, so it was a fun, super fun job. And I loved my coworkers and I loved being outside like that. And a lot of the time I would just put my phone on airplane mode when I was out there, and it was so nice and it felt great for my brain. And I also realized that being in the woods like that was so great for my brain, not just with the woods themselves and the trees and the water and shit, which was amazing. I was like swimming in rivers and it was so nice. But also when you're out there, you're just not being constantly bombarded with how poor you are. You know, you're not seeing cars drive by. No one has their phone on them. I mean, not that I see people's phones and I'm like, I wish I had that phone. Well, kind of low key. I have a 13 and I guess there's nicer cameras now. But anyway, you're not seeing people's apartments. Like, you don't really know what anyone's status is out there. Although these kids were always fucking rich kids. They were always rich and almost always white. Like, entire schools. Like, it could be, we did it. My first trip had it was like between 200 to 300 kids. There was maybe one Indian kid and the rest were white. That's fucked up. So I'm like, I love being outside, but these are not the kids that I care about doing this for. Like, they already have everything. They're like Silicon Valley kids. You know, they're littering. There was this one time we went to Catalina Island. Oh my God. I guess this happened in the last 8 months. I took this Beverly Hills school to Catalina Island. Gorgeous. We were kayaking. You could see through the blue water, see the California Garibaldi, which is the California state fish. I learned that. They look like giant goldfish. You could just see them underneath you. These fucking kids taking off their life vests. When I tell them to put it back on, they go, yeah. And then just paddle away. Don't do it. And then my fuck ass male coworker doesn't do goddamn anything to back me up. He's just like, oh, yo, chill. Like, they're fine. I got him. Like, okay, you're going to let this little boy disrespect me, but he's going to respect, like, oh, he's going to respect the man counselor, and you're not going to back me up. So it was just shit like that was happening. They were literally getting their styrofoam or their paper plates and like frisbeeing them into the woods. I saw them like throwing plastic off the cliff into the ocean. On the ferry ride there, they were throwing their like Reese's Cups wrappers into the ocean. These are the types of fucking kids I'm getting paid $150 a day minus taxes to deal with. So we got there the first day, we're pulling up on the boat, and this girl immediately goes, "The water's more blue in Bora Bora." Bitch! I will sock you. I will fucking sock you. Do you want to test out the water? Because I'll throw you in it. So anyway, that was happening. I had to get the fuck out of there. And the like, not staff, but the like administration, the head bitches in the office, they all sucked. Awful. You know how they fired people? They ghost you. There were so many stories of like, oh yeah, blah, 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 worked here for 6 years and then he did something they didn't like. And so they just never texted him his schedule ever again. Because that's how it was done. They would just text you the schedule. And then you would text like, hey, I haven't gotten anything. Fucking ignore you. They would choose who they wanted on trips. They would not offer, like, it wasn't like equal at all. They played favorites. It was mostly a family business. So of course their family would get first dibs. And then they were dating some other people. So then their family's fucking girlfriends would get first dibs. It was fucked. And then it was like, oh, who wants to volunteer for the morning hike? They would never volunteer. We're still all getting paid the same. And I was like, no, I'm not about to be ghosted. I'm not about to have like this anxiety. Oh, and the bitch that hired me, I will say bitch because I don't work there anymore. And she's a fucking bitch. Man, I'm popping off right now. Probably because last time I talked about it, I was still employed by them, but I'm officially not anymore. Officially, I don't know. I just fucking ghosted them before they could fucking ghost me. I'm pissed. But in my interview, you know, I walked in and it was all white people, of course, as it is to be expected at an outdoor job. And at the end of my interview, I was like, okay, yeah, well, I just have a question. You know, this is a pretty white space. What, like, do you have any systems in place for if I experience any type of racism or discrimination? And when I was asking that question, she sat there like this. Like, She was watching me like, bitch, keep talking. Bitch, keep talking. It was like she was just watching me like, this little cunt. And her answer, wrong answer, bitch. Wrong answer. She goes, oh, kids are so understanding nowadays. Kids don't ever, everyone's different. You got TikTok nowadays, the internet, everyone's so welcoming and inclusive nowadays. So that just doesn't happen. I'm sorry. That's the wrong fucking answer. I said, what if something does happen? Kids do say shit. And these Beverly Hills kids were calling each other fat fucking cunts. You think they weren't calling me nigger behind my back? Of course they were. Of course they were. Of course they were. They were saying shit like, oh, they all got caught hooking up in the tents the last night. And I was like, the next day I was gathering my group and I was like, oh, where's Sarah? And they're like, oh, Sarah's busy. She's got someone's dick in her mouth. These bitches are 13 saying this shit and they're all hitting their stupid little vapes. Nah, these were the most disrespectful kids I have ever encountered in my life. And I think that was the last trip I did with them. When we pulled up on the first day and the girl was like, what is more blue and Bora? And then we went kayaking and my stupid ass fuck ass coworker was not helping me at all. He was supposed to be my partner in it. He was like basically just another kid, like just some broy white boy who like has skated through life. Obviously, he just, when they just reek of privilege, like they just don't have a care in the world. They just walk around so calm because everything is going their way. Everything is going their way. No one's disrespecting them. So I was like, nah, this is not happening. So when they texted everyone and they're like, hey, the new season is starting. Are you able to work? Blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, no, I'm not working here anymore. No response. I was such a good worker and such a good counselor, and they never asked me why, never said, oh, is there anything we can do? Is there a reason or nothing, no insight. No, they did not care. There was no like ladder to talk to someone to complain or improve something like that. That line of communication was just not open. They were like, we have run this business for like 40 years. This is our world and you are just living in it. And you do not complain. That was basically the energy. So yeah, I told her I wasn't coming back. No one contacted me to ask why or whatever. And then look who comes back. Look who comes crawling back. 2 months later, this bitch texts me, hey, now with exclamation points, because suddenly she's so nice. Hey, we have a trip in October if you're up for it. No. I'm broke as hell. I'm broker than I was last time I worked for y'all. And I'm still not going to do it. No. All right. All that to say, that was a long ass rant. To say that I started a new job at a different outdoor job. And so this one is very different. It's more day trips. They do have camping and stuff, but it's more like I've been to a trampoline park. I've been on hikes. I took a bunch of kids to SeaWorld. I know, but I was being paid to be there. And you know what? I'm going to make the most of it. So we went on like roller coasters and shit. I've gone roller skating. It's been like a lot of fun. And these kids are mostly black and brown because this isn't paid for by the parents like the other job was. So this one is, it's like funded. It's like an after school tutoring program. That's like it's in LA, mostly in San Diego. And it's like at a ton of schools. And the program is funded by the government. And then they get like a budget each quarter or whatever it's like an after school thing for tutoring, and then they get money for extra things. So then they hire us, the adventure sector. So we come in, we're still part of the same company, but we're not the after school people. We come in and like take them off the after school people's hands for the day and like take them to the beach or whatever. Oh my God. We had this beach trip. I'll never forget this. We had a beach day earlier in the summer in Malibu. It was so gorgeous. And we had something like 70 little black kids from Inglewood, at the beach. And they were like from preschool to second grade. So they were so itty bitty, and little black kids just look like my cousins, and I have so many cousins. So there's like always, if I see a little black kid, they probably look like at least one of my cousins. Cause I have so many. I have like fucking like 20, 25, like there's so many. And we took him to the beach, and the waves were coming in, and all the teachers and chaperones and stuff are like, they're like these black aunties who are fucking terrified, which I get. They were also massive waves. But But they usually, we say you can go into like your shin or your knee, and they were like, nope, ankles only. So these kids had water going up to literally like 3 inches on their ankle, and they were like freaking out, but in a good way. Every time the water came up, they were like, like just losing their minds. And it was so like, my stomach hurt. It was so cute. I just loved them so much. And then I saw a couple of them a few days in a row, and they were like, you're back. And they were like excited to see me, and I was excited to see them. They were so sweet. So this one, it pays better. It pays $21 an hour. But the thing with that is it's extremely part-time. And since it's connected to the schools, nothing really happened during the summer, and hours still haven't really picked up. So I got this job. Oh, and it's an hour each way from my house. So I'm spending all this money on gas. Not a ton of hours every week. Excuse me, I burped. So anyway, so that kind of dried up a little bit. You know, there's a couple hours here and there, but it's just kind of like back to the drawing board. That was supposed to supplement my income so that I could keep living. But so now it's gotten to a point where I'm even broker than I think I was when I like first started this. And I think that's part of the reason why I stopped recording these, is because I was just kind of sick of getting on here and talking about how poor I was. I guess I was talking about other stuff too, but it's like I wanted my situation to change so I could come back to you guys with good news. And, you know, some things have changed for the better, I suppose. I mean, I can't think of them off the top of my head. I guess my hair has grown more. Rocky's on a diet, a green bean diet. He still gets kibble, but his treats are exclusively frozen green beans. But yeah, I was kind of hoping my financial situation would be different, but it's not. I'm probably like broker than I was. So I'm like oscillating. I oscillate every day. Sometimes it's for a full day. Sometimes it's like each hour by hour, but I oscillate between hope and faith and despair. Despair. And sometimes I just ask, like, how does anybody do this? Like, how does anybody do this? LA is insane. So I've been looking for a full-time job, which I never thought that I would say ever in my life, so that I could take some pressure off of my art, because, you know, Instagram and stuff like that, it's nice when I can make money off of it, but ultimately that's not what I want to do. I don't like to be on my phone all the time. I don't want to encourage other people to be on their phone all the time. So I don't want to, and I don't value like stupid ass fucking numbers, like views and shit, but that's what gets me money. So when I need money, I have to look at those numbers, and it just makes me like sad. And it's not, I just don't value it. So I want my Instagram and stuff to be more supplemental. And also we're all getting sold to all the time. So I don't want to be just another person selling someone shit all the time. I mean, I only get sponsored by stuff that I like actually care about, but still it would be nice to not be a cog in the capitalist machine in that way. Or at least not to rely on that. Oh, he's streaming. I'll keep talking so he doesn't get distracted. So I want my Instagram to be more like supplemental, and then the full-time stuff I'm looking for, for some reason I landed on, I want to be a copywriter. So I'm actually on the second round of an interview at this like supplement smoothie place that I have been to before, and I like I think they're cool. But I honestly don't even know why they asked me for an interview, because I had one resume and then my copywriter friend helped me bump it up and make it really nice. But I submitted to them before I made it nice. So they had my shit ass resume that had like PF Chang's on there. What the fuck does that have to do with copywriting? But they called me for an interview. Oh, and entry level. The interview, of course, was not asking entry level questions. It was like, so in your past experience as a copywriter, I was like, huh? But I made it through the interview, and they called me in they asked for the second round of stuff. They wanted samples of my past copywriting work. Again, entry level. So I was like, you know, though I have not yet worked in a copyright position, here are some examples of what I would write. So sent that off like, I want to say it was more than a week ago. I don't even want to be crazy and say 2 weeks, because it hasn't been 2 weeks, has it? I don't know if it's been a week or 2 weeks. I don't know what's been going on. Time is but an illusion. Yeah, so I'm waiting to hear back from that. That would be nice. It's hybrid. It's two days a week in the office and then 3 days a week work from home. So I feel like I could still do all my other stuff. I'm in another improv class right now. I'm in intermediate now. So I'm on the second level of 3 levels at the Groundlings. It's hard, but it's fun. And I don't know how I feel about my teacher this time, but take what you need and leave the rest. We probably will not be besties after this class, but she has lots of good knowledge that I will take. But I'm really proud of myself with how far I've come with improv, because when I first started, I was so incredibly scared to just go for it. I was so scared of looking stupid, looking dumb, embarrassing myself. And now I'm like way more willing. When she's like, be Viola Davis, I'm like, Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, that lamb was sure to go. That was really bad, Viola Davis, but I went for it, didn't I? No, see, I held back a little bit. But I'm trying to be gentle with myself, and I'm proud of Whoa! I'm proud of myself because although I am not, in there with 0% fear, it has gone down so much. I'm like way more willing to jump into things. I'm way more willing to try on characters. I get up there and I'm like, you coming up in my house with your vaccines and shit. You think you can sit around my house with your vaccines? Like I wouldn't have done that when I first took improv 2 years ago, I think was my first class. And I got a diversity scholarship for this one. So I got to take it only for $100, which is nice. But yeah, improv has been cool. I really like this class. Like my classmates, they're really cool. I feel like I'm making good friends. And I'm almost done with my pilot script. So I think last time we talked, I was pitching a TV show, and I can't remember how in depth I went into that, because I think I was like, I didn't want to like jinx it or anything. I don't know. But I have been working on developing a TV show for, I'd say like 2.5 years, 2 years, something like that. And I started writing the pilot. I took a class with this guy named Brent Forrester, who he worked on The Simpsons and King of the Hill, and he ran The Office Room for like 7 seasons. So homie knows his shit. I took his writing class a year ago and started my pilot. Didn't finish it, got freaked out. I can get more into that later. And then it just shifted focus on the pitch itself. So instead of writing the pilot script, I just focused on the pitch deck, which is like introducing, just talking about the characters, talking about me, telling what the show is going to be about. And I ended up pitching that to, let's see if I can even remember. I think I had 9 pitch meetings. The ones, of note, really, they were all of note, but the ones that I can remember: ABC Signature, 20th Century, like Disney, Lorne Michaels production company. I can't remember what that one's called. I think it's Loudmouth, or Fuzzy Doors one. Prentice Penny's company, a penny for your thoughts. So like some big guys, some heavy hitters, Adina Menzel's company, and they all kind of gave the same feedback more or less. They were all like, this is great. We love Heb. Great pitch. A lot of them were like, this is one of the best pitches we've seen in a long time, but either we have something really similar in the works, or actually that was most of it. We have something similar in the works. But one of them, the original people who reached out to me to be like, we want to hear what type of show you want to create. I pitched it back to them. I won't say who. I pitched it back to them. And then they were like, oh, this is too big of a project to take on with a baby writer. I'm like, y'all reached out to me. You guys are what inspired me to start creating this. And then I pitched it back and they were like, oh, you're not experienced enough. It's like, well, you knew my experience. So I don't know, whatever. At least it's a blessing because they're the ones that kicked me in the butt to start creating a TV show. So pitched to 9 companies. I was waiting to finish pitching. I'm just laying it out. I'm kind of being a little bit messy today. I was waiting to finish pitching so that I could fire my manager because she was bad. She was bad. Bad manager. Bad. Really bad. Super checked out. Didn't do like a lot or kind of anything for me. So as soon as those pitches were done, I was like, thank God, and fired her ass. And then almost immediately signed with my friend Ross, who's in one of my other videos, is an agent at O Models. And so he pitched me to his team. They all liked me. So they brought me on. I signed with them. So now I'm a repped model. I have not worked as a model, but I'm a repped model. And then they also do acting stuff. So I've been going out on acting auditions. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to have to do like self tapes and go to an audition. And yesterday I went to my very first callback. I've been auditioning for like 2 months and I got a callback. Who knows what happens next? I'm trying to just take it as a sign from the universe that I'm heading in the right direction. Even if I don't book it, a callback is great. You know, most people don't get to that stage. So, but it's for this like Visit California commercial. We're supposed to be, I wore this shirt actually in the first audition. We're supposed to be like these cool friends in a car on a road trip through California. And we're like singing a song and playing the banjo and we're all friends and we're probably diverse, you know? But yeah, we'll see. We went to the callback yesterday and it's a group of 4 of us because it's 4 friends in the car. So they have you all go in at once. And we all sat in like 2 chairs in the front, 2 chairs in the back, like we're in a car. And it was my first time being in a casting room like that. Like it's crazy. It was like a big room with maybe 8 people in it. One guy off to the side in his own special chair. And he's like, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm the director of this. And then it was just like everyone else was basically just silent with their little clipboards taking notes. And they have a camera on you. And then a big TV screen that they can watch you on. So I guess they're seeing how you look on screen rather than just seeing how you look in the room. So most of them are watching the TV screen. And then they were just having us do it lots of different times. And, instead of singing at like a 8, can you guys sing the song at like a 3? Okay, can you start singing and then you join in? The girl next to me, she seemed mad. She did not have good energy with it. I think she thought that they were asking her to sing it by herself, but they weren't. And she's like, so do you want me to start? And when she said me, I was like, wait, you want us all to sing though, right? And they were like, yeah. She's like, oh, okay. I was like, fine, misunderstanding, but the energy was a little bit weird. And then we were just trying different combinations of things, you know, nobody sang and just this one person or blah, blah, blah. And then one of them was I start singing. And then they told her, they were like, Heb, you start singing, which also, by the way, I go full time by Heb now. Just Heb. That's my stage name. That's how I introduce myself. Heb. If you knew me as the other name, she's dead. My family still calls me that, which is fine. But yeah, so they were like, Heb, can you start singing the song? And then can you like invite her in to sing with you? So there was like a clear part in the verse where there was a break where where you literally go, yeah. And I was going to be like, yeah. And kind of like punch her on the arm and bring her in. But before I even got there, she started singing like 3 seconds in. So I went, come on around and then she went, bend. We're coming up around the bend. And then they were like, yeah, that was great. But could you actually just like come in a little bit later? Can you like let Heb sing a little bit longer and then come in? And then she was like, oh, okay. And then, you know, we're like singing in the car and I was like looking around trying to like connect with everyone. Dude, when you're an actor, I'm learning this and practicing and getting more in this, you know, and improv is helping with this. You have to be willing to you have to look so fucking dumb. It's like these 8 white people with clipboards that are like this. And they're like, sing, bitch. And then I'm like, come on the rising wind. We're coming up around the bend. Yeah. Like, we're all friends. Anyway, I was like being buddy with the other 2 guys in the back. And then when I looked at her, she was never looking at me. Like she was never connecting. And I was just like, we're not competing here. Like I understand, but we're literally not competing because they don't have specific, like how many guys, how many girls, what races, nothing. I mean, at least that they're not telling us. I'm sure they have some idea, but like right now it's the 4 of us. Like it's as if the 4 of us are in this commercial right now. And oh my God. And she kept singing, the song goes, we're going up around the bend. And she kept going, we're going up around the bend. Wait, we're going up around the bend. Yeah. Cause it goes, we're coming up. And she would go, we're coming up. And every time I was just like, that's not the fucking rhythm. It was bugging me. But yeah, the other 2 guys, one of them, I got his Instagram. He was really nice, gay. Just letting you know, it's not like that. Even if it was like that. Why am I explaining myself to you? Hi, Rocky. I'll take him out soon. But yeah, one of the other guys, I got his Instagram. The other one, I saw him as I was driving away and we were like, you know, hopefully see you soon. Hopefully we all get cast. And the other girl just left. She did not say anything. I was like, okie dokie. But yeah, it was like my first time being in a room like that. And it just felt so like Hollywood. And I brought a book on my way because I was feeling pretty anxious yesterday. And I had to wait there for like maybe 50 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes before I got called in. Wait, is it still going? Yeah, it is. Okay. But I had to wait like 45 to 50 minutes. And since I was so anxious, I didn't want to be on my phone. And if I didn't have a book, I would have been screwed. So I'm glad that I brought a book. So I need to remember to always bring a book to auditions. Yeah, in-person auditions are fun. Luckily I was already in Hollywood. And it was in Hollywood. It felt so Hollywood. Like, are you kidding me? It's so Hollywood. Yeah, funny. But self-tapes are cool. They're fine. Also though, we should be getting paid for this shit, especially if they're asking you to audition. Like, give me $50 to cover gas, parking, and my time. At least 50. Cause that's crazy that they can literally find your profile and be like, we like you. Drive to this spot in Hollywood, find parking, be here for however long. We're not going to tell you how long. Also, it's tomorrow in the middle of the day. So hopefully you don't have a job. Come audition. Okay, we're calling you back, but come to a different place in Hollywood. Still though, it's tomorrow, middle of the day, and we're going to be super behind and call you in whenever. All of that, whatever, fine, name of the game. But if you are like asking me to come in and I'm doing this now twice for you and then I don't get the job, it's like, do you know how fucking poor I am? Do you know how privileged you have to be able to do that shit? Like, if I was at a desk job, these auditions they were both at like noon in the middle of the day. If I worked at a desk job on the West Side or something and had to come to Hollywood, it just wouldn't have been possible. So I'm not complaining, casting directors. I just think that like ethically you should pay people that you ask to audition. I think it's Sarah Ramos, homegirl who's in Parenthood, and then she was in The Bear as well. You might have seen her. She like popped off online redoing scenes on Instagram and stuff during COVID. And then also she started doing this thing I learned about it from her because she's really advocating for actors to start getting paid for auditions. So she has started editing in her audition tape into the actual movie or show that she auditioned for to like show that she did the work. It's like, oh, I auditioned for this role and there were so many of them. She's like, I auditioned for all these roles and didn't get them and didn't get paid for any of it. And again, they ask you. Sometimes it's an open casting so anybody can submit, but a lot of the time they're like, we like your profile. Can you submit a tape? So that's all I'm saying. I'm just word vomiting. I feel like this isn't very interesting because I'm just talking about work. But I don't know, whatever. I guess I just need to be true and honest to myself and not worry about the outcome. That's what the book I'm reading says. Big magic. Yeah, so I saw a friend. I was up in Washington in September for a bachelorette party, a bridal shower, same day, same person, and then a wedding, different person, different day. Next day, actually. I was hungover from the bachelorette party. And damn, talking about that made me want to smear off ice. Hold up. I'm showing you that because I got that bottle opener at Catalina Island when I took those fuck ass kids there. Whoa, hello? 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 Okay, I think it's working. Yeah, I was showing you this because I got this at Catalina Island when I took those fuck ass kids there. So that's the one good thing. Actually, there are multiple good things. The fact that I got to go to Catalina Island is pretty cool. So, but now I want this Smirnoff Ice. What the fuck? Oh yeah, I think I was going to get into dating and stuff in Seattle, but this reminded me of something actually. Um so I quit weed, and I still feel not sure about saying that out loud because I'm like scared to commit 100%. But I have just proven to myself time and time again that I cannot be a casual or social smoker. It's such a slippery slope for me, especially working not at all or just working extremely irregular hours or from home or whatever. I make my own schedule. It's so easy to just slip into smoking every day for sure. And then just the time of day just gets earlier and earlier. And, you know, sometimes I'm hitting it at like 10 a.m. Sometimes I wait until 3. Sometimes I wait until 7 p.m. But most of the time, you know, noon to 2, I'd start smoking. And I just don't want that. Because also, if it was helping me, sure, you know, do what you need to do. But it's not like it was helping me. I would gaslight myself into thinking that it would help with my ADHD, or it would be a break or calm me down. And it just didn't. It would make me more anxious, and then I'd be confused. Sometimes I'd get up too fast and, you know, my eyes would kind of go black. I'd get like dizzy. I'd be like, what's going on? I'm dumber when I'm stoned, of course. That's just what it is. Oh, are you yawning? I'm just dumber and I'm slower, and, you know, and then I would get a text that's like, hey, are you still coming? It's like, oh, I forgot. It's like, now I'm baked and I like got to go to this thing. Which, again, I mean, I don't really mind being stoned in public or being stoned socially, but it was just, I don't know. I've just realized that whatever rules and regulations I have for myself, like only smoke after 7 p.m., I just can't stick to. So I think the only option for me is just nothing at all. But the shitty part about that is, for now, is I still reach for something. I still like to alter my state of mind somehow to hopefully calm down or relax. It's like, of course, dude, think about the life that we're living. You know, I know I'm not the only one in this situation, but I feel like it sometimes. I feel lonely in this, like, oh, everyone else has it together, and I know they don't. But it's like, think about how hard this is. I'm living in LA, and also I'm so grateful for what I do have. And I'm trying, this is what I mean. I oscillate between hope and faith and being like, oh, I'm so grateful for my dog and my couch, and I have a place, and I don't like, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. But then it's like, okay, living in LA, trying to get a job that doesn't make me want to literally kill myself. I was telling my therapist this morning about working at PF Chang's and all the trauma it caused me, and she was like gobsmacked. Her jaw was on the floor, just all the shit. I was like, oh yeah, the cooks were doing drugs. They were drunk all the time. They were knocking over trash cans. They were sexually harassing us. I had a table walk out on me. My manager told me it was coming out of my paycheck, but he was going to let it slide this time and not take it out of my paycheck. Like, we had no support. They didn't give us any food or breaks. There was actually a class action lawsuit about that. I got a settlement of like $30. But they didn't give us any food except for rice. So I just lived off of white rice for like 6 to 7 hours on my feet the whole time, sweating, dehydrated. I got so skinny because I wasn't eating. One shift I threw up in the back, and then because I was like so like sick and dehydrated and stuff. And then my manager goes, okay, well, are you ready to take more tables? Bitch, I just threw up. No. So it's such a stressful place to work. Anyway, but then I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like a bratty baby, just like complaining, like I should just take any job, when I'm complaining about not having enough money. But I know that it'll decrease my quality of life. Oh, hi, little man. Hi, little sir. Oh, there's nothing better in the world than Rocky's weight on me. I love when he lays on me so much. He's my favorite little guy. Hi, sweet baby. So yeah, trying to find a job, but it's just like, but then like, oh, but it can't be like a desk job because of auditions, like I was just saying, you know, and shit like that. But then it's like, oh, keep investing in your career. It's like you sink all this time into something that you like hope pays off one day, you know, content or whatever. Oh, my camera's about to die soon, so I'll wrap this up in a minute. Anyway, I don't need to get into all that again. My point is, life is hard, so it makes sense that we reach for something sometimes. And the thing that I kept reaching for was weed to comfort me, and it just was not comforting me. But I wanted it to constantly, and I kept thinking when I was sober, like, oh, this will relax me. And then I'd be stoned, and I would just remember, like, oh no, this actually sucks. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it sucks. 1 out of 10, if I'm with a friend or something and we like take an edible, like, yeah, it's fun. But I don't even know if I can trust myself with that. So I think right now I'm just at 0. So I'm only on day 3 right now. But I found this Reddit that's full of people who quit weed, and there is a Discord that we're all in. There's like thousands of people in there, and there's only one channel, and it's locked. No one can talk except for twice a day. It opens for 1 hour. So people will come in there for 1 hour. I've been in there a couple times. People just say how they're doing. People are like, hey, day 60, you know, I was on day 7, but I caved last night, so I'm back on day 1. And it's just people encouraging each other. And today, this one girl was like, I need to throw away my stash. And I was like, damn, you're inspiring me. I think I need to throw away my pipe and stuff. And I did it. I threw away. And that if you don't smoke, that can just feel like, okay. But it's like my pipes have meant something to me. Like, and I didn't throw away my grinders because they mean something to me. But I threw away my pipes. But not throwing away my grinders feels like, oh, how much am I committing to this? But, you know, my pipes, I've had one of them I've had since I was like 19. And I threw it in the trash. But then also, I don't love drinking, honestly. Like, I'll take 1 Smirnoff Ice or whatever. But like, I got drunk a couple weeks ago. Bro, it is now officially at 28, at the ripe age of 28, taking me 2 days to recover from drinking. I had a hangover for 2 days. I felt sick for 2 days. I don't like drinking. And even when I'm drunk, I'm like, I don't like this. And sometimes I just keep going because I'm like, well, what else is there to do right now? Which is so crazy because I know that's our culture and like what they've taught us all and all that. You know, a light little buzz here and there is cool. And sometimes I'm in the mood, but most of the time I'm not. But like if I'm going out, I kind of like want, you know, I want something, but also what's so bad about being sober? I guess I could just try that. I guess I'm like so scared of being sober in the club. I have been sober in the club before, but that felt like more just like, oh, tonight I just don't feel like it. Whereas now it's like, I'm committing to not doing this. So now I'm scared that I'm going to have a bad time. And if I do have a bad time, I can't like reach for anything. I'm not committing to not drinking, but anyway, so this leads me to something else. Has anyone tried kava? Kava, kava. I tried it once at a party, at a 40th birthday party a couple months ago. And it's like a natural root or something that makes your mouth go kind of numb and tingly, which is wild, but it like naturally relaxes you. It's like, it honestly almost felt like I took a Klonopin, which I used to be prescribed, and sometimes I miss it because anxiety. But the anxiety should get better now that I don't smoke weed. That's what they say. I don't fucking know if that's true, but apparently, supposedly, allegedly, that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, and I felt like kind of like drunk without being drunk. Just like calm, kind of loosey-goosey, just kind of like a little bit fun-loving. And I kind of just like want to do that at the clubs. It's basically like a tea. Like you can literally get it as a tea or like a tincture, or you can get it as a smoothie. This one girl had like a strawberry milk kava, and I had just like one glass like this, and I was like chilling all night. And it's kind of like what I always want weed to do. It relaxed me in a way that I always have expected weed to relax me. So there are a couple spots around LA. I haven't been to any of those yet. But I was actually thinking of maybe going to one later today. But again, everything comes back to money, because I'm like, yeah, I want to try it, but like I don't need to be spending $8 to $12 on a drink in a coffee shop. But I do really want to try it when I like get my money up and get a job, whatever. I think that's something I want to try. Oh yeah, and then oh my god, and then dating and the whole dating show. I'll get to that next time, because okay, the dating show, Hooking Up with Heb, if you have not seen or heard of it, I hosted a live dating show back in April where 6 people, it was a queer dating show. There were 3 guys, 2 girls, 1 non-binary person. And they all dated me live on stage. We sold tickets. It sold out. There were about 65 to 70 people there. We had drinks. We had a host. My friend Dylan helped me produce the whole thing, and he hosted. I hadn't seen the contestants before getting on stage. And then there was a winner. and I want to give the update about what happened with the winner. But I just uploaded on YouTube on the same channel the whole video, because I was posting clips on YouTube or on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, just kind of separately. I put all the clips together, so it's like 16 minutes long. It was like a 2.5 hour show, but it's down to 16 minutes. It's on my YouTube. Watch it and then come back to the next episode of Heb Hangs, because I want to explain how we put the show together. What happened with the winner, what happened with all that, how we chose the contestants. And then I guess along the way, I'll talk about my dating life. Oh yeah, that's why I mentioned going up to Washington earlier, because when I was in Washington, I saw my homegirl Jessica or Jess. And I was talking about this podcast, and I was like, man, I miss doing Heb Hangs, but I'm kind of like scared to pick it up again. I took a break, and like, I'm not really dating right now, so I don't really know what to talk about. And she was like, you're more than your dating life. Like even this today, maybe because I'm not like going crazy out there right now, it wasn't at the top of my mind, but like I just talked for I don't know fucking how long without even mentioning dating. So I am more than my dating life. But I mean, I guess I can get more into it in the next episode when I talk about hooking up with Heb. But I've kind of just been chilling. I'm not on the apps. I haven't been on the apps in forever. I'm just like, I got other shit to do right now. And if I meet someone, I meet someone. Yeah. And you got to have money to date, especially if you're trying to date girls. Because if you're dating guys, you can maybe get away like, oh, they'll probably pay on the first date. Probably. But if you're dating girls, like we should split it. I might pay. So, but I'm kind of not fussed. But I am dating a little bit though. Oh wait, no, but we're not dating. We're not dating. We just see each other every week and hang out for a long time when we see each other. And they've met my friends. And my dog likes him. But we're not dating. No, we're not. So, okay, well, I guess that'll just be... I kind of wanted to talk about, I guess, why I took a break for so long, but I didn't even get into that. I just got into work immediately. But yeah, I think I don't know. I probably got in my head a little bit, which again, I want to talk about that later with like writing my script and getting over that creative block when you know that you want to do something, but it's so hard to get yourself to do it because you're just overthinking and you think about the outcome and you have expectations and whatever. I think I hit 10 episodes or 8 episodes or something. And then I was like, that's enough. But I've been thinking about this. And there have been a couple people that have been asking for Heb Hangs. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Yeah. Maybe I'll replace weed with recording these episodes again. So say bye, Rocky. He says bye. Thanks for hanging. There's the bottom of my foot. Thank God it's clean because I just took a shower. Heb Hangs. It's time for Heb Hangs. Heb Hangs. Bye.